Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm a product designer here at GitLab with the editor extensions team, and I just wanted to quickly share some of my concept designs around how we can make Duo Chat feel a little more integrated with IDEs. So why? Duo Chat's maturing as a product. Currently it's built on shared GitLab UI components that are using web-first patterns. This poses a bit of a challenge with IDEs because they are specialized tools that become very personal for the developer who's using them because they're using them daily. They're creating customization, and they're using it repeatedly for complex workflows. This results in design results differ from web, and that's why we need to provide a custom experience if we want to really do something exceptional. So since we're using jobs to be done framework here at GitLab, I just want to clarify this is for the code author job performer, and I'm primarily focusing on the efficiency outcome here. So for example, with when I'm introducing AI code using Duo, I don't want to break existing functionality or introduce a bug or add unnecessary complexity. So for this design exercise, the challenge I set for myself was how chat feel more native to the IDE. So there'll be 4 videos for this. Right now, I'm just going to focus on appearance. For the design hypothesis that I'm following, I already mentioned that, again, IDEs are very personalized, they're information dense. So there's going to be a lot of ROI on removing any unnecessary UI elements because that can get frustrating to users who are using it day in and day out, but also reduce their productivity. So the main areas to evaluate that I focused on, let's just take a look at what we're currently doing. So you can see here we've got big image, we've got text that doesn't match the font in the IDE, we've got buttons, we've got empty states that are suggesting things like how do I change my password in GitLab, which is not going to be super helpful to a repeated daily user of Duo Chat. You can see the input boxes are using more web styling with their rounded edges and use of icons. We've got left and right messaging style display so that user sends a prompt and it's on the right side, response is on the left. Padding, again, not making super efficient use of the compact space that we have. Also got things like we're using a lot of words to describe the different states of loading. Very image heavy for using icons to when you select context, for example, pass taking up an extra line. All this is just something that we might be able to trim down a bit and improve the experience. So the terminal was where I looked to for inspiration. It works really well for complex workflows already, and it's primarily text-based. So applying this, our empty state changes, we now suggest patterns for using key binding hints, and that works in the IDE because a lot of developers rely on keyboard-centric workflows to be more productive, and so we want to expose those. Input field now blends in more, lower contrast. Again, things that might not necessarily work on the web, but fit nicely into the IDE. So here's an example of a response. Everything now is left aligned rather than using the left and right chat bubble style. This also lets us make better use of padding, be more compact, using the same font size throughout. Again, all just allowing us to pack more information into an information dense environment and reducing that visual noise. So another aspect could be, what if we used the context menu selection? We remove icons, we just use text, just like many terminal apps will do. And so by doing it that way, user can see it, we use less resources. So for example, I'm just going to go back here. You can see here, this is replacing what would be on the left-hand side here, just these icons distinguishing files from directories, etc. We could also let users select multiple items within the single session of opening a menu, and here's how it might look with a secondary selection. We could also use the terminal, has the plus button, as well as a secondary menu. This could be quite useful for launching chats. Just click plus. New chat tab pops up. Something else, again, I mentioned before the loading states using text like GitLab is generating a response, but those aren't really necessary in the IDE, so why don't we just remove them? Just use a loading indicator. Again, just minimal ways to reduce noise. Another important factor is customization. So we've been primarily focused on the left and right tabs, but also supporting the bottom tab could be quite useful for developers who prefer that layout. So here's an example of how this would work in our traditional left and right panel. As you can see, we can cram a little bit more information in here because font sizes are smaller. They're matching the IDE, left alignment, and it just allows us to communicate more information in a smaller space, and it works on both the left and right side. What would be new is using the panel here, just like where users might interact with the terminal. This bottom panel can be quickly opened with a shortcut. Developers are used to using it, and it could work really well for a chat view, web view in here. So just a few ideas for appearance. See you in the next video.